Hey, what's going on, Nostalgics? It's Ryan from the Nostalgia Factor here, coming at you with another gaming interview today. Today's interviewee, guys, is going to be Country Network Gaming, a really cool guy who I came into contact with when looking for interviews on Facebook. But yeah, he makes some really interesting content over on his channel, some really cool gaming stuff. So if you guys are interested in checking out what he has to offer, go and check him out in the description down below. Show him some support, give him a sub, like his videos, and see if they interest you. But either way, guys, let us get into the interview. What was the first game you ever played?
First video game probably would be Mortal Kombat 1 and Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo. I remember playing some Atari, but I don't remember if that was before or after getting a Super Nintendo in the early 90s. So probably one of those, and that's instant nostalgia. It's like a euphoria right there to play, and I love Super Mario World.
So what got you into collecting games and playing them?
Don't really collect them like some people do. Maybe I should. I don't like clutter, but then I do like clutter, so I don't collect them, but playing them, I fell in love, obviously, like everybody. I played Mortal Kombat Super Mario World, and, it was like competition. Gaming was fairly new back then, so it was a lot of fun, and that right there, from just getting my first video game system that I want from my grandma that my parents didn't even want me to have, and it just kind of grew into a love, into a passion, like most of y'all. All right.
What would you say has been a memorable experience for you in gaming, such as a particular moment in a video game or when you started gaming?
That's a tough one. To say the most memorable, there's different aspects to several different games. And I think after skimming through the questions that I don't want to use the same game necessarily twice. Growing up, Final Fantasy VII, I was never an RPG player. I was a gamer, but also did the sports. So I was kind of considered a jock and a scholarly athlete. Let's just say that. And I was kind of bet against that I couldn't beat Final Fantasy VII because I didn't know anything about RPGs. So my little town at that time in the community, not only did I beat Final Fantasy VII, but I also beat all the weapons that none of the geeks had beat yet. So I was the first one. So that was really memorable for me as far as gaming. I'd say beating all the weapons. If you play, Ruby Weapon, Emerald Weapon, Ultimate Weapon, and eventually, you go on in the game, you beat Sephiroth or whatever order you do it in. So that's probably my most memorable, but because it involves some of the stuff from the outside. I had a point to prove.
What's been a disappointing game for you? Not necessarily a bad game, but just one that you personally found disappointing.
I think this would be a long list. A long list of games that would fit this category. But to say the most, let's go with a new game. Let's just say this. Fallout 76, like the online. The hype was so big, we've waited for so long, the kind of a prequel to it all, and kind of flopped. I mean, every game's glitchy, but just really not the anticipated build-up that you get to it and all that. It didn't produce like I thought it would, and I'm not the only one that thinks that way, so question for...
What's one of your all-time favorite games, if you had to pick?
This is tough. Guys, this is tough, but... Gonna get some haters right here, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Halo. And a quick explanation of that is I was a diehard PlayStation fan, Sony, all about Sony, even after the Xbox had been out. But like it or not, Halo sort of revolutionized console gaming and multiplayer gaming in general for that. So plenty of older games and newer games that maybe I like more in certain ways, but what Halo did, what Bungie was able to do then, and with, your link parties used to have connected Xboxes and stuff, and the atmosphere that brought when you have 4 TVs hooked up in a tiny living room with 4 Xboxes, order some pizza or try to find somebody old enough to get something to drink, it really kind of revolutionized, even like with the online gaming. Xbox in general then sort of, they set the bar for a lot, so let's gonna go with Halo.
What style of video game would you say would be your favorite, such as shooter games, RPGs, that kind of thing?
That's a good one, too. I like scary games. I really like them all. It just needs to be a good game. kind of go through little stages like everybody. I love survival games. I love building games. I love Minecraft. I loved Ark. I like the concept of Ark. Had a lot of issues, but the whole kind of open world, do what you want, but yet there was not really any story to it, but there kind of was. Really, I don't have a specific style. It just needs to be fun. Like, I can have fun playing any game. Like, I can bust in some NBA Jam on the Super Nintendo and play for hours and be content, or, throw on some Ark. Right now, Red Dead Redemption 2. Great story type of game. I like it. It's a little linear, but open at the same time, so it really just depends. I don't have a specific favorite. I just want a good game.
What's a favorite music track of yours in a video game, either from a specific game or from a specific composer from a certain franchise?
Absolutely, without a doubt. This one's easy. Silent Hill. Silent Hill 1 and 2. Soundtracks to those, to me, are just absolutely creepy, phenomenal. I can't remember his name. One of them weird Japanese names, but such a great job. He can really get into the psyche of you. Just the music alone in a dark room is just enough to make your heart start jumping. The music, what really brings everything together in that franchise. Now, they, like anything, kept pushing out games, but at least the first two are great. 3 and 4 were okay, but I'd say from the first two, just absolutely the intro to Silent Hill 1, this is something that you'll never forget. And then just the sound effects and stuff. And if you haven't listened to that, go listen to the sound effects. Like, it is such a great, creepy sounding soundtrack.
What's one game that you would love to see remade or remastered?
Well, they're kind of starting to do that to a lot of them. This one, I kind of mentioned this before. I wish, and I've heard that they might be doing this, but Final Fantasy VII, great game. Updated graphics, and I hear that maybe they might be, but it won't be turn-based, which is weird because that was part of the charm of that game. But probably Final Fantasy VII, just because it was kind of the first real good RPG that I played. I know the Final Fantasies before that, there's others, but that one, for its time, kind of had some kind of cool-looking cutscenes, and just to be updated a little bit, not the little bitty dudes running around, I think that would be pretty neat. Alright guys, this is the Country Gaming Network here, giving a big shout out to the Nostalgia Factor. I really like what he's doing with his channel. So he just brings it back to where a lot of us started, from the beginning. So some people went even further back than me. I really start my roots with the Super Nintendo, but a lot of people go back before that with the original Nintendo. So, which I did play it too. But y'all give him a shout out, check his page out. Hit the subscribe button if you will. Like, show him some love. Tell him I sent you. Give me some ideas for some games that y'all would like to see on my channel. Like, share, subscribe if you like it. And we'll see you next time.
And that's all for this one, guys. Hopefully you nostalgics enjoyed today's gaming interview. Big thanks to having Country Network Gaming on here. Really cool talking with you, man. You're a really cool dude. Again, I really loved your responses. And yeah, if you guys are interested in checking out his content for yourselves, go and check out the link in the description down below. Give him a sub. Watch his videos and see if they interest you, and show a fellow gamer some support. Either way, Nostalgics, this has been it for me. If you guys did enjoy this video, give it a big old like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to catch our future gaming stuff coming your way. And that's all for me. This is Ryan from the Nostalgia Factor saying, until next time, keep on gaming.